Welcome back to another uplifting episode of Journey to Success. I'm Emily Carter, your host, and today we're tackling a challenge we all face in our fast paced lives: learning to manage stress. Joining us is an incredible guest, Dr. Rachel Harper, a clinical psychologist, best selling author, and mindfulness expert who's guided thousands to find calm and clarity amid life's storms. Rachel, it's an absolute honor to have you with us today.
Thank you, Emily. I'm truly delighted to be here and dive into a topic that's not just about coping but about thriving with resilience and peace, no matter what life throws at us.
I'm so eager to absorb your wisdom. Stress can feel like an unwelcome guest that overstays its welcome. Rachel, let's start with the big picture. Why is learning to manage stress so essential for success and well-being, and how does it shape our journey?
That's a fantastic question, Emily, and it really gets to the core of why stress management is so vital. Stress, when left unchecked, is like a thief. It robs you of focus, energy, and joy, undermining your health, relationships, and goals. But when you learn to manage it, you reclaim control, turning challenges into opportunities for growth. Effective stress management boosts your mental clarity, strengthens your resilience, and enhances your ability to make thoughtful decisions, whether you're leading a team, raising a family, or chasing a dream. It's not about eliminating stress, that's impossible, but about dancing with it in a way that keeps you balanced and empowered. I think of someone like Nelson Mandela, who faced unimaginable pressure in prison yet stayed grounded, saying, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." His calm focus helped him lead a nation. Early in my own journey, I was a therapist in Seattle, overwhelmed by a packed caseload and personal doubts about my impact. I'd lie awake, heart racing, feeling like I was failing everyone. But when I started practicing mindfulness, simple breathing, grounding techniques, my perspective shifted. I could listen better, connect deeper, and my practice grew, leading to my books and workshops. Managing stress doesn't just protect your well-being. It unlocks your potential, letting you show up fully for life's demands with grace and strength.
That's such a powerful way to frame it, Rachel. Stress as a dance you can master. Mandela's resilience is so inspiring. You mentioned your own overwhelm as a therapist. Can you walk us through how someone can start managing stress, especially if they feel swallowed by it?
Absolutely, Emily. The first step is to practice mindful breathing. It sounds simple, but it's a lifeline. Slow, intentional breaths calm your nervous system, bringing you back to the present. You don't need hours. Even a minute can shift your state. I draw inspiration from the Dalai Lama, who uses breath to stay serene amid global chaos, saying, "Calm mind brings inner strength and self-confidence." His daily meditation fueled his peace advocacy. When I was drowning in work, my stress showed up as tightness in my chest, racing thoughts. I'd snap at small things. I started the Dalai Lama's way. 5 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth whenever I felt it building. It was like hitting a reset button. My focus returned and I'd tackle one client file at a time. My sessions improved and I slept better. I coached a client named Sarah, a marketing manager buried under deadlines, snapping at her team. She felt out of control. Inspired by the Dalai Lama, she tried breathing breaks, 3 breaths before meetings. It steadied her. She led a campaign that won awards. Breathing isn't just air. It's a tool to anchor you, cutting stress's grip and building clarity. Another step is to set boundaries with intention. Stress often comes from overcommitting, saying yes to everything. Decide what's essential and protect your time for it, kindly saying no to the rest. I learned this from Oprah Winfrey, who balances her empire by prioritizing, saying, "You can have it all, just not all at once." Her focus drives her impact. I used to take every referral, exhausting myself, until I set office hours and stuck to them. My energy soared and my coaching thrived. Sarah, inspired by Oprah, blocked 1 hour daily for deep work, declining extra tasks. Her stress dropped and she earned a promotion. Boundaries don't limit you. They free you to focus on what matters, reducing stress's weight.
I love those starting points, Rachel. Breathing and boundaries. The Dalai Lama and Oprah make it so tangible. But what about when stress feels relentless, like during a crisis or overwhelming workload?
How do you manage it then?
Oh, Emily, those relentless moments like crises or endless to-dos can make you feel like you're drowning in a storm. The key is to break stress into manageable chunks. Instead of tackling the whole wave, focus on one small actionable step right now. Call it next action thinking. This keeps overwhelm at bay. I draw from Serena Williams, who faced high-stakes matches and injuries yet stayed calm by focusing on one point at a time, saying, "I just think about the next swing." Her discipline won her 23 Grand Slams. During a personal crisis, my mom's illness hit while my practice was swamped. I felt paralyzed juggling hospital visits and clients. Serena's focus helped. I'd pick one task like drafting one email or calling one doctor and do it. Each step cleared mental fog and I kept my practice steady while supporting mom. I coached a client named Michael, a startup founder whose company teetered during a funding crunch. He was sleepless, spiraling. Inspired by Serena, he focused on one pitch slide daily. It grounded him. He secured investors. Chunking stress into next actions turns chaos into progress, giving you control even in crises. Another strategy is gratitude grounding. Stress magnifies what's wrong, so pause to name 3 things you're thankful for. It shifts your lens. I learned this from Maya Angelou, who found joy in hardship, saying, "This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before." Her gratitude fueled her art. During my crisis, I'd list thanks. Mom's smile, a colleague's help. It eased my heart, letting me work clearly. Michael tried it, thanking his team's effort. A sunny day, it calmed him, boosting pitches. Gratitude doesn't erase stress. It lights a path through it, keeping you steady.
That's so empowering, Rachel. Chunking tasks and grounding in gratitude. Serena and Angelou's examples make it feel doable. You've mentioned incredible figures like Mandela and Oprah. Are there other famous people whose stress management inspires you?
Oh, absolutely, Emily. The world is rich with examples of calm under pressure. Take Abraham Lincoln, who led through the Civil War's chaos with steady reflection, saying, "I walk slowly, but I never walk backward." He wrote letters to process stress, saving a nation. When a book deadline loomed amid client surges, I felt crushed. Lincoln's pause inspired me. I journaled 5 minutes nightly, sorting thoughts. It cleared my mind. The book hit bestseller lists. I coached a client named Olivia, a nurse stressed by long shifts. Lincoln's reflection led her to journal patient wins. She led a care initiative. Another is Ariana Huffington, who, post-burnout, prioritized rest, saying, "We can't pour from an empty cup." Her Thrive Global grew from that shift. When I overworked, crashing hard, Huffington's rest, naps, walks revived me, sharpening my talks. Olivia, inspired by Huffington, napped between shifts, cutting errors. Her team thrived. Then there's Malala Yousafzai, who faced death yet stayed calm, advocating education, saying, "I raise my voice, not so I can shout, but so others can be heard." Her focus grounded her Nobel Prize. I coached a client named Ethan, a chef stressed by a failing restaurant. Malala's calm led him to meditate. He revamped his menu, packing tables. These icons show stress management isn't avoidance. It's intentional habits that fuel resilience and impact.
Those stories are so uplifting, Rachel. Lincoln, Huffington, Malala, they show calm's power. What are common mistakes people make when trying to manage stress, and how can we avoid them?
Great question, Emily, because pitfalls can trip up even good intentions. One big mistake is ignoring stress signals. People push through fatigue, irritability, or aches, thinking it's normal. But that courts burnout. I learned this from Brené Brown, who says, "If you're not paying attention to your body, you're not paying attention to your life." I used to grind past headaches, crashing later. Now I pause at tension, stretch, breathe, saving energy. I coached a client named Lauren, a writer who ignored stress until anxiety hit. Brown's awareness led her to note signals, tight shoulders, and rest. Her novel's done. Avoid this trap by checking in body and mind daily. Another trap is relying on quick fixes. Alcohol, scrolling, or caffeine might numb stress, but they mask it, not solve it. Deepak Chopra advocates mindfulness over escapes, saying, "In silence you find solutions." I leaned on wine to unwind, but it dulled me. Switching to meditation cleared my head, my practice grew. Lauren scrolled endlessly, stalling drafts. Chopra's focus helped her journal. She published faster. Choose tools, walks, music that heal, not hide. Finally, isolating under stress cuts you off from support. Michelle Obama leans on community, saying, "We need each other to thrive." I hit struggles feeling weak until I shared with a mentor. Solutions flowed. Lauren isolated, missing deadlines. Obama's connection led her to a writers group. Her work soared. Reach out friends, colleagues for perspective. Avoiding these, ignoring signals, quick fixes, isolation builds lasting calm.
That's such a wake-up call, Rachel. Brown's awareness, Chopra's mindfulness, Obama's community. They reframe stress so clearly. How do we sustain stress management long-term, especially when life's pressures keep piling up?
Sustaining stress management is like tending a river. It flows best with regular care, even through rough currents. One habit is daily grounding rituals. Anchor calm with routines, 5 minutes of breath work, a morning stretch, a gratitude note. I learned this from Tony Robbins, who starts days with priming, saying, "Where focus goes, energy flows." I breathe deeply each morning, my workshops shine. I coached a client named Anna, a lawyer swamped by trials. Robbins' rituals led her to stretch nightly. She won a big case. Rituals root calm, no matter the chaos. Another key is priority mapping. List top tasks weekly, focusing energy where it counts. It cuts stress's sprawl. Warren Buffett simplifies, saying, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." I map priorities Sundays, client calls, writing, it keeps me steady. Anna mapped court prep, easing panic, she mentored peers. Mapping clarifies what's vital. Also build a support web. Regular check-ins with loved ones or mentors share the load. Desmond Tutu leaned on community, saying, "My humanity is bound up in yours." My book club lifts me, sparking ideas. I coached a client named Mark, a salesman stressed by quotas. Tutu's web led him to a mentor. His sales doubled. Support lightens stress. Finally, anchor to purpose. Your why, love, growth, service makes pressures bearable. Viktor Frankl endured camps with meaning, saying, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." My purpose, helping others, calms me through storms. These habits, rituals, mapping, support, purpose build stress management that lasts a lifetime.
Those are such vibrant tools, Rachel. Robbins' rituals, Buffett's focus, Frankl's purpose. It's a blueprint for calm. As we close, what's one final piece of advice for listeners ready to manage stress today?
My biggest advice is to choose one calm act now. Stress management starts with a single intentional step. Think of Fred Rogers, who soothed millions with quiet presence, saying, "In times of stress, the best thing we can do is listen to our hearts." For me, it was that first breath sparking a life of balance. One last story. I coached a single dad named Brian, a carpenter crushed by bills and grief. Stress made him snap. We looked at Abraham Lincoln, calm through war, saying, "This too shall pass." Brian tried one breath daily, noting his son's laugh. It grew, he rebuilt his shop, teaching kids craft. If Brian can find calm, so can you. Pick one act today, breathe deeply, say no, thank a friend. That step builds a life of peace.
What a beautiful way to wrap up, Rachel. Brian's story, alongside legends like Rogers and Lincoln, shows calm is within reach. Thank you for sharing such profound wisdom and practical steps. I know our listeners are ready to find their peace.
Thank you, Emily, and to all the listeners. I hope you feel empowered to dance with stress and thrive.
And that's it for today's episode of Journey to Success. If this conversation soothed your soul, and I'm sure it did, please hit that subscribe button to catch every calming episode. Share this with someone needing peace, and join us next time for more insights to fuel your journey. Until then, keep finding calm, one breath at a time.